right now. That sound like the V pronouncer.
What's up, y'all? Today I'm gonna be doing a little mukbang story time. I couldn't do it without her. She would not let me. And now she wanna eat my food. You want some food? Some food? I'll show y'all what I mean. Show you. So with chickpeas, kale, quinoa, a little bit of lao mein, broccoli, and sweet potatoes. As y'all know, I went vegan, so yeah, I'm not eating no meat. But anyway, that's fun. That's another story. We'll just go ahead and get right into this video. So, what did we tell you about the time I had my first miscarriage? This was October or November 2019. I was staying with my mom. It was before we moved into West Side. And you know how it is when you stay with your mother. It just be a lot going on. My other sister, I'm the oldest sibling, so my other sister and brother stayed there too. Well, my brother, he's 22 now. He had just moved out. My youngest sister, she's 20. She was still staying there. And my younger brother is 12. It's me and my little family. I didn't have Shia yet. Shia was still not even thought of. This was the baby before Shia. And it was just me, Jeff, Israel, and Sonny. You eating my hand? She's not letting me eat. Wait, sit down. Sit down. Let me feed you. Just sit. Just sit. At the time I was working at Hershey's, and I was about, I'm gonna say a good 15 weeks. I found out I was pregnant at about 7-8 weeks, and look at me eating the food off of her. And I was already planning not to keep that baby, but I wasn't planning on having a abortion, because I don't believe in abortions. But I was planning on not keeping that baby. Only because at the time, you want some more? Only because at the time, but it just wasn't the right time. You know, when it's just not the right time for something like that, just wasn't the right time. I was staying with my mom. We was trying to move. I already had 2 kids. It was just too stressful, too much going on. And that's another reason why I think I had a miscarriage, because I was just stressed. I wasn't planning on like going to the abortion clinic to actually have an abortion. I was just gonna just let it happen like naturally, which it did. I was taking detox teas and everything. But long story short, I found out when I was about 8 weeks, and I was not really at all because I just was like, I don't need another baby right now. I had already had 2 babies. Sonny was just 2. I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, I can't have another baby right now. I just had in my mind like I wasn't having another baby right now. Oh, and the whole time that I was pregnant, when I found out, I didn't even tell my mom. I didn't tell nobody. It was just me and Jeff knew. Oh, Jeff's mom knew. That was it. But shit, I told her my mom didn't know, so I didn't even let her tell my mother. But and still to this day, I don't even think my mother know. I still didn't tell my mother to this day. Nobody know. But his mom, and I think I told my sister and this other girl that I used to talk to. She knew. December 17th, I remember that's the day we moved in here. December 17th, 2019. The day we moved, I was doing the most. I knew I was on the most. I was, you know, when you first, at the beginning, you're, look at you standing up. Y'all, see? Okay, stay focused. I knew I was doing the most because, you know, when you, at the beginning of your first trimester, you're not supposed to be doing all of that extra stuff, lifting stuff and all that stuff. Let me tell you, my mother's house was so stressful. We packed our stuff and we couldn't wait to go. Like I was moving everything because I was like, we gotta go. We just had to go. So at that point, it didn't even matter to me about not doing this, not doing all of that extra stuff I know I'm not supposed to be doing because I knew I wanted to go. I was ready to move. I needed my own space. I just needed my own everything. So the moving day, I was in the house lifting up boxes with clothes in it, boxes with toys in it, bags with clothes, probably about like 20, 30 pound, maybe 40 pound things. Like, and I knew like me lifting, it's like a lift when you gotta bend your knees and lift, because if you don't, you're gonna hurt something. I was doing that type of lifting, so I already knew that you know, it wasn't going right. You know, when you had like that feeling, like it's just like a feeling, like a chill down my spine just came when I lifted that one bag. When I took it to the car, 10 minutes out there, I started cramping really bad. Then I started cursing out Jeff. His friend was supposed to come help, but he was really trying to just come over our house, and I was like, I wasn't really feeling that. Then it's the pregnancy hormones too, but I really just wasn't feeling nobody coming to my house because I'm just moving in. I want to break my own house in first. I don't want nobody coming in my house without me breaking my stuff in. Like, that's anywhere, anytime I move, I want to break my house in first. Let me get the first couple of nights by myself, and then everybody can come. Even family, like I didn't even let no family come. Like everybody kept calling. I'm like, no, we don't have nothing there. You know, let us get our stuff together, and we'll call y'all when y'all can come through. So I was cursing him out because I'm like, ain't nobody about to come over there. Like, no, that's not happening. He don't even need to help us move. We don't even got too much to move right now. Like, it's just clothes and bags and stuff like that. We didn't take nothing out of storage yet or nothing. We waited till like 2 weeks later to take stuff out of storage. So I was cramping real bad. He was like, you need to sit down, you need to relax, you doing too much, blah blah blah. You know how to do it. You doing too much, you stop doing all of that. Or just he was just telling me I was doing too much. But now that I look back on it, I knew I was, because I was ready to move and I was just frustrated. You know, the frustration, all that stuff just be having you like going. Adrenaline was pumping. So I was ready to go. So we moved into our place. I want to say about 2 days later, I woke up out my sleep with cramps, and it stopped. And I went to the bathroom, and it wasn't nothing. I checked down, make sure, you know, see if it was blood and everything, if I was bleeding, and it wasn't no blood or nothing there. So oh girl, you sneezing on me. So I just, you know, was like, all right, well, maybe I'm still good, you know, I'm not bleeding or nothing, I'm good. That day when I checked, I had to go to work later on that evening. Had to be to work like at 11:30, and I got off at like 5 or 6, I think. I went to work that day, and my cramps just kept getting worse. I told her that I needed to leave because I was having a miscarriage. You know, your job would be being paid. They'd be like, no. I didn't really want to tell them I was having a miscarriage because I'm like, that's nobody's business. But I told one of the managers that I was cool with, and he was like, all right, well, go ahead and go home. I told him I was cramping, and I was spotting, even though I wasn't spotting them, but them cramps just had me like, I couldn't take it. So, I left from where I was still cramping. This was like probably like around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I got there like at 11:30, so it was probably like 1:30ish, 1:30, because I left around like 1:32. I left and I came home, and I was telling Jeff, I'm like, yeah, I'm having real bad cramps, like it felt like period cramps. I'm about to come on my period. And he like, you are? You wanna go to the hospital? I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, I'm gonna just see if it relaxes, and then if it don't, then I go to the hospital. 2 hours later, I was still having the cramps, so I went to the hospital. If you live in the DMV area, you know about Doctor's Hospital. Don't ever go there if you in an emergency. Doctors and PG are the 2 worst hospitals. Don't ever go. Never, never. Doctors, I guess they go by like an insurance thing. If you don't got no real good insurance, then you don't go first. They have you sitting there for hours. I went there. I was there for a good 3, 4. I was there for a good 6 hours. And they took me through the process and everything. They just took me in the back, asked me what was going on. I told them I was having cramps. I told them how far along I was. And then I went upstairs and got a little ultrasound on my stomach. They was like, well, baby's still there, you're fine, da 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 da. If you know, sometimes that just happens, and the cramp will go away if you stop bleeding, then come back, and you'll go from there. I was like, okay, cool. So I left. I got home about 7 o'clock. I'm gonna say like 6, 7ish. I got home, I was fine. The cramps just got worse, and I went to the bathroom. And when I wiped myself, I seen blood. I'm like, oh shoot. I already know what's about to happen. And that's my first miscarriage, but you know, everybody know, like, you know, symptoms of a miscarriage is cramping and spotting, and then, you know, the cramps get worse and worse. Like, I'm like, alright, here we go. Come on, Mom. I'm like, alright, here we go. So, I was just spotting, and I waited some hours later, and the spotting just kept getting worse and worse. It was getting heavy, and the cramps were just getting worse. Like, I was like, you know, when you had a real bad cramps, all my moms know. The dudes wouldn't know, but like, it was just a real bad cramps. Like, I'm just like rocking back and forth, like, oh God, please just relieve these cramps. And God sure did relieve them cramps. So about 10 o'clock at night, the cramps just kept going. I couldn't move. I couldn't do nothing. I was in bed. I was laying down. I was crunched over. I'm like, babe, I can't move. I just kept having contractions. He was like, you okay? You okay? I'm like, nah, I'm not, but I am. Yeah. Come here. I'm like, nah, I'm not, but I am. He was like, you need to go back to the hospital. I'm like, no. I'm like, yeah, I'm spotting now, but ain't nothing really, you know. I'm gonna see if the spotting stop, because you know they usually say you have spotting at the beginning of your pregnancy, but the cramping and the spotting, that's just like too much going on. So I went to the bathroom at like go watch Blippi. So I went to the bathroom and I sat on the toilet and I just had that one big cramp. While I'm rocking back and forth, you just had that like that cramp. It was just like, it cramped so hard. Like it felt like a contraction. Like I was, Sonny, bye. Go watch Blippi. I was cramping so hard. It felt like that real bad contraction, like that last contraction. You just, like that last contraction you just have. And I had that contraction, and then it was just like and then just a relief. And it's just like when the relief came, something, it just like dropped in the toilet. And I looked, I got up, and I was like, oh my God. And I looked, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's my baby. And then that's when it was just like, my emotions just started going everywhere. Like, I didn't know if to be like sad or happy because I didn't want the baby. But then it was like, I ain't want it to happen like that. Like, that's my baby on the toilet. So after that, I just, I was like, okay, cool. Now, you know they say when you have a miscarriage, you gotta make sure all the baby is gone. If not, you gotta get, I think it's the IBF or something like that. I didn't want to have to get nothing like that, so I wanted to make sure that the baby was gone. I went back to doctor's hospital, and I'm thinking that they just gonna pull me to the back, you know, let me know, yeah, baby not here, whatever. This time went back was worse than the last time because they had me in there from 11 o'clock at night to 4 o'clock in the morning. Just for nothing. Like, I'm sitting in the waiting room the whole time, and I'm like, I gotta go home because I have to work in the morning. Like, I'm not trying to be here all night. Like, I can't do that. That's not gonna happen. At this point, like, they got me sitting in the waiting room. They pulled me to the back to draw my blood. I'm thinking they draw my blood. The dude put a whole IV in my arm. I'm like, oh, nah. The dude put a whole IV in my arm. And I'm like, oh no. My cousin works in the she a medical assistant or something like that. I stopped calling her. I'm like, you know how to take IVs out? Like, I'm trying to figure out who could take this IV out of my arm because I'm like, this is not gonna work. It's definitely not gonna work. Like, I'm ready to go home. I would walk up out of it. At that point, I couldn't even walk up out of it because they put a whole IV in my arm. So I was pressing them. Like, yeah, I gotta go. Like, I gotta go to work in the morning. I just need to know if the baby here or not. So then they start rushing it. They send me upstairs. And I hate the freaking ultrasound technicians. They don't tell you nothing. They already know what's going on. They know that, no, it's nothing there. Like, tell me that. I leave. They ain't tell me nothing. They wait until they tell the doctor the information. I gotta wait for the doctor. Doctor come down. They sit me in this room. I'm like, I'm ready to go. They had me wait for the doctor for a good 45 minutes. And by that time, it was like 4:30 in the morning. I'm like, these people just playing with me. So doctor come down, she like, yeah. So she wanted me to run through the whole story again, tell her what happened. I'm like, I came earlier. I was spotting. I came earlier, I was cramping, but it wasn't nothing. I wasn't spotting, so they told me I don't go home. If I spot, come back. I got home. Some hours later, I started spotting, and then that's when it got heavier and heavier, like a period. And the fetus came out, and I came back to the doctor. I just wanted to make sure everything was gone. He's like, yeah, well, no, y'all know how the doctors be so extra. Like, I'm like, bitch, I don't care about none of that. Get to the point. Well, we didn't see anything. There's definitely no baby there. I'm like, okay, so I'm like, I don't even need all the sympathy. I'm fine. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't nothing left. I'm ready to go. Like, thank you. I can go. So she let me go. They took my IV out, and I went home. Yeah, when I say that was the worst, well, I'm not gonna say the worst because it's people that have worse than that, but that was an experience that I never want to experience again. Right after I had that miscarriage, I got pregnant with her in January or February, the end of January, beginning of February. And this is my little princess. And I'm so happy I got my princess. Because y'all know they say the third one is the charm. And now I'm 3 and done. So, yeah. But yeah, that was it. That's how I had my first miscarriage. Hopefully I don't have another one. Hopefully I won't even get pregnant again. I ain't trying to have no more babies. I'm done. These my babies. But mommy is done. So, you like the story time, and you want me to do another one, drop some ideas down below. Yeah. Hit that like button. Hit that bell so you can get notified every time I post a video.